Hey folks, welcome to Sports Focus. I'm your host, John McNeil. With me is Mr. Kevin Civils. You know, Civils. This show is about the NFL and the problems they are having. Violence will be the subject, the main subject of it. But first, let's get into, once again,
jeez.
Mr. You like that? I snuck that up on you. Mr. Papa John's himself.
Oh, Mr. Papa N-word.
Yeah.
What he was thinking.
What you think about that? This was, if y'all didn't hear, the founder of Papa John's was having a conference call.
Oh, my stars.
And he let out the N-word. During this conference call.
Like somebody wasn't going to leak that information pretty fast.
Yeah, but this happened last year.
Yeah.
How does everybody sitting on that?
Because you know how you pay people. And I think he just ticked off the wrong person and said, hey, how about this?
They went like, he said that. But
Make no sense. Make no sense. No sense.
First of all, did you like Papa John's pizza? You ever had it?
I had Papa John's maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
There's nothing to call home about.
I believe I had Papa John's once and I threw up.
Maybe because you already knew.
Maybe. This was over 10, 20 years ago. And I chunked it. And
you gave it the upchuck?
I gave the upchuck, man. Didn't agree with me, and I never had it again. Now, it's interesting the developments now that he's saying that he shouldn't have resigned. He shouldn't have resigned. You ain't hear about that, huh?
I ain't hear about that.
Yeah, and you're gonna hear about this now too. He resigned. He stepped down because the board said, you should step down.
Right.
And he did. He apologized and all that stuff. Now he comes back and says, I shouldn't have did that because there wasn't no investigation. Well, didn't you say you said it? And it is too offensive to repeat, so I suggest you can go on Bleacher Report, Yahoo Sports, and look up Papa John's, and you'll see what he said. Very bold, sort of like orange, and very bold
crazy.
Like that, and
That's crazy.
that's nuts. My thing is, they were the official pizza of the NFL. How do these players feel about that? I haven't heard anything from them. The NFL's been real quiet. You see that, right?
Yep.
You see how the NFL like to divert attention, not talk about certain stuff.
The
NFL Network don't talk about it.
You know what's going to happen. They do like they always do. They're going to quietly move them out as the piece of the NFL into Pizza Hut or Little Caesars or somebody else.
Whatever.
Oh, they're going to slowly slide him right on out.
And that's my whole thing with that kneeling stuff we was talking about. They could have easily did that. This is something, crazy. But you notice how the networks, the ESPNs and the NFL Network, they're not talking about this.
No.
They're not blowing it up. No. They said no. They are controlling the media. It is amazing how they're doing this.
It's crazy.
But they can't control domestic violence.
They've been trying to regain their image ever since Ray Rice. And they have been stumbling and trying. Every time they seem as if they get their footing, something else happened. And because people fail to realize before the Ray Rice incidents, the NFL never did anything about it.
No.
It was always the owners of the teams. The teams always dealt with the domestic violence and everything else.
Yeah.
But when it becomes so national, you force them to respond on something that they really didn't deal with.
Yeah. This was a bunch of guys, the owner sitting there, as long as he can play football. And we got to keep him on the field. We got to keep this thing going.
Yep.
So they really had no rules, and they're still dropping the ball. Here you go, the National Felon League. I wonder if that's what it's turning into. Because they have a real problem when these guys, and I've always been saying that the NFL is trying to market this product like it's Disney. but this is a triple X product because it's a violent game. You have these guys have to be on a violent, level.
Right.
And unfortunately, a lot of these guys don't know how to separate the two. They want to still keep that violent tone to them in the off season.
Right.
That's what Chris Carter said. He said he good that he had this outlet, which is what he does now, is this sports talk show. And these guys, they definitely need an outlet when they're not on the field, because as you see, a lot of guys is getting in trouble for putting their hands on women, putting their hands on men, kids. Adrian Peterson, beating that boy in his ding-a-ling. He beat that boy in his ding-a-ling. He beat him, and there was no need.
Talking about that boy and his ding-a-ling.
He beat him in his ding-a-ling. But
He talking about that little boy.
he did.
Beat that little boy. Talking
He
about that
beat
little boy
that
and
boy.
his ding-a-ling.
But
All I can think about that Chet Berry song. My ding-a-ling.
moving on to I hope and pray that this is not true. I hope that this is just someone else that's not connected at all to LaShawn McCoy. But LaShawn McCoy, he's in trouble.
Big trouble.
Huge trouble. If you guys don't know, his girlfriend at the time, and this is what they did. They busted in the house. Actually, you know what? They did not bust in the house.
They said they had a key or something.
They just walked in the house. They wanted some items.
And they stole specific items.
And one item in was the 20,000 Rolex. So they pistol whipped her, another person. There was a minor in the home as well. Mm-hmm. And they left. Bad look, I'm saying. Bad look for Shady. That's all I'm saying. Bad look for LaShawn McCoy. And I hope and pray that he's not involved in this, because you can forget your NFL.
Yes, you can.
Because even though the woman is alive, this is sort of like that Ray Caruth type thing. You're sending someone to hurt someone. He already was. There's proof that he sent family and friends to move the girl out of his home. So who's to say he didn't have somebody come do this?
Somebody could have did it as a favor and didn't even have to know it.
Exactly. Hopefully it don't turn like the Michael Vick, how the family or whoever was involved, they decided to just start telling. No loyalty, man.
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever. But that was the picture, and that girl, it wasn't this woman did not put the picture on. It was the other woman in the home. She put this picture on social media. So now we got to But You see how her lawyers did it. They said LaShawn McCoy was nowhere near the home.
Quick.
Made it real clear, but the connection is there. They've been beefing, and what's she doing? 20,000 Rolex, $20,000. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lot of money.
Probably paid for those too. He probably want those back.
Yeah, she's one of them, Instagram or video women. Mm-hmm. See how it turned out. We also got this particular case. This one got to me a bit because Reuben Foster plays for the San Francisco 49ers. He has gun charges. Mm-hmm. There was a domestic violence charge, but the girl recanted her story. 2 games?
Yeah.
He got 2-game suspension. Now, there's still a gun charge on him,
right?
Which they didn't, get to yet. You know what I want to say. Mm-hmm. You know what I want to say. What do I want to say? What do I want to say? This is a man, since college, has had issues with the law. He comes to the NFL, still has them same issues. They give him 2 games. Still got the gun charge. Yeah. I'm going to get to him. Brandon Browner, now he's not in the league at this current time, but this is a 2-time Super Bowl champion with the Seahawks and the Patriots. And he's charged, attempted murder, kidnapping.
They're going to blame it all on CTE.
That could be his defense, actually.
They're going to blame it on CTE, but you can't tell he got CTE until he's dead.
It wasn't me.
Yeah.
You see?
I got to shoot stuff in the chest so you don't damage the brain.
Hey, that's what I believe brother from the Bears back in the day, and then Junior Seau.
Junior Seau did it too.
He did that. But he's charged with crimes, and I think the worst is Kellen Winslow Jr. Oh my God! Rape, kidnapping, breaking the head, all this others.
Yeah, man.
This is Kellen Winslow's from the San Diego Chargers son. His son is done lost his way.
He way past lost his way. That dude got on the bus and just went totally the other way.
It's amazing what happens to these guys when they leave the game and they don't have that outlet. But we do have someone that's currently in the NFL. He was a number 1 pick. Famous Jameis Winston. This particular case gets me because he was charged for groping. Now, this was 2 years ago. 16. Happened in 16. Groping of the Uber driver. It was a woman. So now they finally get around to it. And he only got 3 games. Suspension. Mind of the other stuff he had coming into the league, mind you, the rape of the woman in college, stealing crab legs, and groping a woman in the Uber driver. 3 games because he did not appeal this case. I wonder if he would have appealed, what would have happened? He would have got the 6.
We'll never know.
I guess we'll never know. So we now know if Ezekiel Elliott would have just said, you know what, man, I'm not going to appeal, they would have given them 3 games. Because he kept it going, 6 games.
And I think the turning of the boss didn't help it either.
The what?
The talking of the boss, it didn't help it either. Jerry Jones running off at the mouth.
But
want to take away that man's private jet.
But I think in that part I don't really blame him, because if the commissioner, not hearsay, if the commissioner comes to me and says we're not suspending him, and you do it anyway.
But see, the biggest thing I always say about that one is okay, they said they wasn't going to suspend him, but that was before the Mardi Gras stuff. And I think that's what did it.
So we got to get him for some, what is this, OJ now? We can't get you for the murder, but we going to get you for stealing your stuff. Bam, 33 years. Okay. Well, like we been talking, the NFL has a major image problem. It's football. You can't change what the game is. So I guess they're going to have more programs for these guys and try and help them out. The
biggest thing is, I don't think it's an outlet, because a lot of this stuff happened during the season. It's just not reported. And it doesn't get the national attention if somebody put it out, because as someone would tell you, it's hard to turn in your multi-million-dollar meal ticket with something that can be covered up with coverall makeup, like we saw in the slide.
That's right.
So it's kind of hard to throw away that $1 million meal ticket.
That's right. That's right. And folks, that's all the time we have. I hope we educated you on some NFL histrionics and how they do the dubious, trying to change things as they see it. But, Mr. Civils, thank you, sir. And thank you. Enjoy.